So what is the one thing in common with all of the people who attack me, my channel, and the people who agree with me? It's that they all just so happen to be degenerate, mentally ill freaks.
Well, I guess it's time I also talk about this person. Yeah, on today's episode of Cretaceous Critiques, we respond to Ranting For Vengeances Response to the woke mob. Ranting For Vengeance is one of those anti-woke grifter critics. His formula is basically that he looks at a comic or movie that is popular at the moment, and he will look for something that is like a black person in said media. And once he finds something like that, he'll slap the label woke on that piece of media and then make a video about it. Last year he got massive backlash for the following clip. Roll it.
Like, it's so weird how like people who just hate certain things, you just slap the label woke into it.
I'm retarded?
Thanks, bro. It's always cool to see some support from the disabled community. When you say I'm scared of black people, newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
Creds to Rins, by the way. I got the clip from his video on the matter. So yeah, he has basically revealed that he is racist. And this video we're reacting to is a response to that criticism. But honestly, it's one of the weirdest nonsense response videos I have seen in a while. Anyways, let's not waste any more of your precious time and get right into the video. Luckily, this video is only around 6 to 7 minutes long, so our brains shouldn't be melting this time, hopefully.
So what is the one thing in common with all of the people who attack me, my channel, and the people who agree with me? It's that they all just so happen to be degenerate, mentally ill freaks.
Well, that is the way to start a video. And also, did any of you notice how not even 5 seconds into the video, he immediately plays the victim card? His channel would be attacked according to him. Listen, Ranting For Vengeance. For the most part, the videos on you aren't attacks. They are criticism videos. In multiple videos of yours, you have made it clear that you're a genuine racist. Something you gotta learn is, if you scream into the mountain valley, you can expect the echo to come back to you. That means that what you do will have consequences. When you say stuff like this...
When you say I'm scared of black people, newsflash, you illiterate troglodyte. Everybody is.
You can expect that people will of course make videos on you. And you are actually right with one thing. I am mentally ill. So I'll give you a half point at least.
And I'm not going to do anything big today. It's probably just going to be a short video, but I'm going to have to respond to one of them because this prick just keeps on showing up in my Twitter feed, and to be honest, whoever you are, I could probably kick your ass.
You're not gonna beat anyone up, let's be honest. I think I could even knock you out with just one punch. Stop acting like you're tougher than you actually are. I'm gonna be honest, you can count yourself lucky that you're getting homeschooled. Because if you would go to a public school and the other students knew of the trash you were talking on the internet, you'd be bullied so much. I think you'd have to look out all the time so you wouldn't get all your teeth knocked out. So don't start to project your insecurities and stop talking about beating people up. Also, I have to talk about this.
Because this prick just keeps on showing up in my Twitter feed.
Bro censored the word prick, yet he calls others snowflakes. Even though prick is the most tame insult there is. So who is the snowflake here, buddy?
But before we get into all this nonsense, if you want to help me out, you don't have to, you can support me on Patreon. No. So there's tons of people out there who have attacked me and my channel, and to be honest, all of them could be exposed right now for being mentally ill nutjobs. It's not just woke, left, right, Democrat, Republican. These people are sick and probably belong in prison. I find it comical, really. People probably think I'm bothered by the thousands of dislikes and angry comments. But really, when I know what type of person you are, like, I don't know, a gay flag in the bio or a furry, how am I supposed to take you seriously?
Great self-report, Ranting For Vengeance. You say that you could expose all the people that talk about you, but with that sentence right there.
Like, I don't know, a gay flag in the bio or a furry, how am I supposed to take you seriously? How am I supposed to take you seriously?
You pretty much just exposed yourself, and with that, I noticed that I have to revise one of the things I said 2 videos ago. What I meant there is, as long as you don't push your beliefs on others, or as long as you are not hateful to people who are not agreeing with you, I'll accept you for what you are, as long as you're not doing something illegal, of course. course. But Ranting for Vengeance, what you probably didn't learn yet is that you should tolerate the preferences of others, which is something you clearly cannot do. And we'll get to that, trust me. But really, you should rename the video to I Expose Myself Today Ranting for Vengeance. That should be much more accurate.
And that leads us into this retard that I'm going to be talking about today.
This has to be one of the worst attempts at censorship I have seen from a YouTuber in a very long time. You could still hear what he said. If you don't even bother to mute the audio to make your insult inaudible, then don't censor it at all. That bleeping attempt was completely unnecessary.
So you come over here, comic book movie cringe. He's this account with 18k followers. And the thing is, I've seen him for tons of years. He's been around a long while. And just from his bio, you can see that, oh yeah, not allowed 500 meters near Harley. And also an invite link to his Discord. But first of all, like a lot of the people who attacked me, you don't really show your face. You're just sitting behind some weird Twitter account and a Discord and talking about Harley Quinn like you're not allowed 500 meters near her. First of all, Harley Quinn sucks as a character. Second of all, stop talking about degenerate subjects, you freak.
Okay, when you criticize him for not showing his face, then we should also criticize 90% of the woke Grifter community. Because people in that community like Latina Parfait or Grums don't show their faces. And that can be due to two possible reasons. Either one, they know if they show their faces they will be getting harassed, or two, they have an IRL job and it could reflect poorly if the coworkers saw what they are talking about online. And that is a mistake that you are making as well by showing your face. If you ever try to get an IRL job and the boss would see you making the statements that you make online, you would never be hired. Also, what degenerate subjects are you talking about? First of all, Harley Quinn is canonically of age. And second of all, that user was probably making a joke about people who sexualize Harley. Stop making mountains out of molehills. And also, I love the hypocrisy from him. Ranting for Vengeance says that he can say whatever he wants and then he gets offended over a lighthearted joke from someone else. Maybe get your moral compass straight.
Well, first of all, why aren't you showing your face? You can post up everybody's channels and argue with them and say these people are delusional, but you don't even make videos. You don't even do anything because you're nothing.
The foolishness of that comment is so deep, I can only ascribe it to higher education. You have to have gone to college to say something that stupid.
You are the one to talk here? First of all, you don't have to show your face if you don't want to. And second of all, without your hate-filled personality, you would be nothing. Your content is some of the most run-at-the-mill anti-woke slop I have ever seen in my life. The only thing that makes you stick out is your racism, and that isn't even a good trait to have. If you wouldn't have that, you'd have less of a personality than Harmon fucking Smith. Your formula is just repetitive. Your videos are boring to watch. At least with other grifters, I can laugh at their brain dead takes. But with your videos, I have to actively fight to not fall asleep. So you have no right to call someone else a nothing. Get yourself a personality first.
If you actually click on his Discord link, I'm probably not going to even read this out loud, but you can just read what that says. And I'm the crazy person in this situation. And it's not just this Twitter account. Many of the people who try to argue and say that I'm crazy for stuff I say usually have these weird seedy discords where mental crap is going on. And yeah, I'm talking about Turkey Tom or Tom Dark, whatever the hell the bastard's name is. You're a freak. And don't bother zooming in on me, a 15-year-old kid's face, looking at it on your computer screen, then talking about all these weird subjects in your freaky discords. Because you're not gonna win. This channel isn't something where I apologize and come out and say, I'm so sorry, you degenerate gooner, because I said something that offended you. If you think I'm ever gonna do that, then stick it up your ass, because it's not happening.
Nobody gives a shit. So you're just name dropping Turkey Tom for making videos on you while he says something you don't agree with on Discord. Seriously, how sad are you? You're now just grasping at straws there, I hope you know this. Also, who cares that you are 15 years old? What does this have to do with anything? Your age doesn't make you immune to criticism. If you have the mindset of a Neanderthal, then people will of course criticize you. Also, you say that you won't apologize for anything you say, while you keep censoring shit. Which means that you're clearly afraid of something. I mean, you censored the word gooner, you spineless hypocrite. And you're also a degenerate yourself. I mean, you're a racist. I know I'm starting to sound like a broken record here, but I feel like I need to point out this double standard.
Now all you have to do is just scroll through this guy's account and he's posting up just some random stuff, but then he posts up this, Ryan Cannell, RK Outpost. A great channel. He might not go that hard as he should most of the time, but he is doing some good work. And how is this cringe in any way? John Bernthal saying, what are your pronouns? Oh, it's a big joke, is it? Then what about the true story behind that video? John Bernthal was at some fan convention and all these trans mentally ill freaks came up to him and he was taking pictures like some tough guy. Standing next to him like, yeah, pulling a big tough face. They're freaks, John. You're the Punisher. Those people are insane and they believe that there's something that they're entirely not.
Do I even have to explain why this is a pretty messed up thing to say? With that statement, he outright admitted that he is transphobic. Just asking, but why the sudden attack against trans people? I actually want to know, why did you do this? How did the point of your video go from calling out your critics to you calling trans people mentally ill freaks? Let's be serious about this. This was just a random attack against trans people just because you have a grudge against those people. Otherwise you wouldn't have an aneurysm from seeing an actor posing with trans people. Let's be honest with that.
You come down here, he's posting about the new fantastic flop. That Star Wars girl, another good content creator. Everything Hollywood makes now is a cheap downgrade of what we had before, and it shows. A perfectly coherent and normal statement that makes perfect sense. But somehow it's cringe and these retards think that it's delusional. You come down again, another thing about fantastic flop. A Mexican, old lady, probably gay guy, actual gay guy, laughing my ass off. This post couldn't be more accurate. It's just the truth.
Take a wild guess why it matters to you specifically, Ranting for Vengeance. It's because you are a pathetic, racist, homophobe, transphobe and incel. If you wouldn't have an inherent hatred to those people, then you would ignore those takes and you wouldn't even bother to show this. But no, you decide to include this. And for what? To show that you are cool? If this was your intention, then I'll tell you, it doesn't make you look cool. It doesn't make you look like a joke. Since you obviously had to double down on your statement that gave you the big criticism in the first place, because you couldn't take your views being challenged. Which, again, makes you look pathetic in hindsight.
And after many more spasticated posts, all you have to do is scroll down and you see me. Why Spider-Man 4 will be woke propaganda. It's entirely true. Did you not watch the video? I'm not making it up. It's just the truth. And you're so sad that you can't even accept it.
It wasn't the truth. It was one of the most nonsensical takes I've seen. I don't feel the need to explain why his take was so stupid. It is just that it shows his formula again. He looks for a popular superhero thing, then he actively looks for anything he doesn't like in said media, and once he does, he'll call it woke. I know that he probably needs YouTube for money, but he should at least go away from that formula, because it's getting old very quickly.
You come down here and you see someone looking like this should have no rights calling Zendaya an ugly black chick who looks like a boy. Sorry to break it to you, but I can call anybody whatever I want to. And I'm gonna call you an idiot retard, and I'm gonna call Zendaya an ugly black bitch. Sorry to break the news to all of you, but this channel isn't supposed to be a feast for your eyes. I'm not some model here to look good for you.
Okay, this is more of a subjective thing, but looking at your thumbnails, I have to agree. Your videos really aren't a feast for your eyes.
I'm here to deliver a message. It's not a nice one and you're not gonna like it. So you can post my face and my thumbnails all across the internet, Twitter or YouTube. It doesn't really change anything. I'm going to continue to keep pissing you off. It isn't rage bait. It's not that I don't believe believe anything that I say. I believe everything I say 100%. This channel is 100% authentic. I don't lie to anybody. I'm gonna call you out if you're speaking some bullcrap. I don't care if you're on my side or not.
Okay, we can end the video right here. I have two things to discuss here before I disclose my final thoughts on Ranting for Vengeance. So now the first thing, you aren't spreading any message. You make some weird conspiracies about superhero media and the woke mob. And secondly, good luck finding a job. Saying that you actually stand for everything you say was probably the biggest mistake you could have ever made. People can now always hold you accountable. You can't talk your way out of your statements anymore. And with saying that you believe the hateful things you say online made it really impossible to ever find a job for you. Because no boss would ever hire you after saying that. And with that, I get to my closing thoughts on Ranting for Vengeance. Ranting for Vengeance is just one of those run-at-the-mill, copy-paste, anti-woke slop channels that just exists en masse out there. I mean, he posted 4 videos about the same topic in a row, which is a typical thing for a content farm, and that is what Ranting for Vengeance is to me, an anti-woke content farm. So, that's it for this episode of Cretaceous Critiques, and I'll now credit the artists for my channel. Special thanks to Indominus Pack, Spino Blue, Spinozilla 2005, Dracon, and Gator Boy. Thank you all for your great help on making my channel the way it is nowadays, and thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all in the next Cretaceous Critiques. Stay cold and goodbye.